Nick, when you look at the early enrollees, and of course, you're going to have another batch coming on campus, and really are just here in the next few weeks that we'll get a chance to see and hear about in August. Add those to the transfer portal guys. Is there one guy that you can really point to, and I'll leave you more than one if you'd like to talk about several that you really think could make a huge impact?
Oh man, that's a good question. So I think starting out the gate, probably Jatavian Sanders. He's going to be a guy who can either play offense, he can play defense. It seems like he's probably going to play some tight end, but also be somebody who can, just actually pass for us also. So I am very, very interested just to see him play. He should be a stud here on campus.
Talking Texas football, we got Nick Battle from Nino's Corner. Check him out right here on YouTube. So we know what the deal has been with the dead period is that there have been, I heard a stat the other day, and I haven't kept the numbers in my brain, but it just really depicted the number of commits or lack thereof this recruiting cycle compared to what we typically have at this point entering June.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even close. It's a low percentage compared to where we are, understandably. These student athletes want to get on campuses so they can visit and see where they're going to go.
Yeah.
So we would expect the floodgates just to, once June 1st hits, and I know Texas has their big weekend or two, just like all the big powers are going to have their big recruiting weekends, and the like. And then, for your typical recruit that's looking at really seriously 2, 3, 4 schools, it's going to take him pretty much the month of June. Then we would expect sometime in late June into July. Wow, we're going to have commits flying. And, who's really in that group that, you're really banking on making a difference for Texas and really want to see come to Austin? Those targets.
We need some help in the trenches, some Mark. So we always talk about this, right? Every time that, I actually come to your show, I always talk about the big uglies in the trenches, right? So I'm looking at Cam Dewberry. I'm looking at, Devin Campbell. I'm looking at Kelvin Banks Jr. If Texas can somehow pull all 3 of those guys, or just 2, or even just 1, those guys are game changers when it comes to just the trenches. So if we can get some of those guys, man, those would be the ones that I would definitely be looking out for.
Nick, you got to love college football. I made a random comment before you came on about Toledo football. So I was just picking a team out of the air, basically saying, whoever you like, whoever you want, we'll talk about them. I haven't talked about Toledo football, understandably, trying to cover everyone. But lo and behold, there's a handle here, Toledo football fan. My goodness, I would have never guessed. I make a comment about Toledo football, and there's a Toledo football fan watching us.